This might just be one of the sexiest cooking techniques I have ever seen. The Doner Kebab is arguably one of the greatest sandwiches in the world. Few things are better than juicy shaved meat stuffed into bread and loaded with fresh salads and sauces. But every time I try a home cooking technique, the texture was nowhere near the doner I could get here in London. Until recently. There's been a revolution in homemade doner that actually nails the authentic shaved meat texture that was so hard to get at home. So today I finally get to show you how to make the real deal. We aren't just making the meat, we're gonna make the salads and sauces too, so you can build the ultimate homemade Doner Kebab. So to make the doner meat, start off by breaking out your food processor. You can also make this by hand, but a food processor works to mechanically bind the meat and the other ingredients together. I'm gonna start off by making the seasoning mix that is gonna flavor the meat. Every doner mix is gonna have onions in it, and for about a kilogram of meat, we've got 2 onions, about 20%. So the next ingredient primarily adds moisture, but it just makes the mixture a lot easier to work with, and that is yogurt. And then for seasonings, we of course have salt, black pepper, cumin, some Turkish chili flakes, and some Turkish or Greek oregano. Then there's one special ingredient I'm gonna add, which a lot of restaurants use, and that is MSG. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but this will make your doner taste way more savory. And then just blend that all together until it's a fine pulp and everything is well mixed. And now I've got an onion pulp with all of the seasonings perfectly distributed. So now let's bring out the meat and talk about it. So when it comes to the meat, I would recommend you use ground lamb if you can get it, but if you can't, ground beef. You need it to be quite high in fat, about 30%. And if you can't get high fat minced meat, try and get some extra fat from trimmed steaks or anything. Now this is about 20% fat, and so I'm gonna top it up with a bit of olive oil. But before I add the meat, I'm just gonna add the olive oil as well to the onions. Now it's really important that before you put the meat in the food processor, you've kept it in the fridge, because the colder the meat is, the more the fat's gonna be retained in the doner as it's cooking, and you really want that for a great texture. Now we're gonna let the food processor mix the meat with the onions until they turn into a homogeneous mixture. So let it run, scrape down the walls if you need to, and keep it going until you have something that resembles this. You can tell that it's ready because it should be stretchy, stringy, should see lots of little fibers coming off of it, but also it should just be really sticky, like it sticks to itself. Those strands are essential to allowing the mixture to bind together properly, and then when we cook it, we should get nice strips, continuous strips of doner that hold together. This mixture is done. I'm gonna transfer it into a bowl, and then I'm gonna move it to the fridge to cool for at least half an hour. And if you skip the chilling, it might end up a little dry. So, while the meat mixture is cooling down, you can get started on the sides. And to me, in Europe, you always get cabbage on your doner, and I think it is absolutely perfect for the sandwich. It's more like a cabbage pickle than a salad, but it's really tasty, adds some sweetness, adds some moisture, and it adds some crunch. It can stain my hands, so I'm gonna wear some gloves while I handle it. Let's quarter these, and then slice out the cores like that. And then you want to cut it really, really fine. This is how fine you want it chopped. I'm just going to go in with the ingredients that are going to turn this into our pickle. And the way you do that is with salt. Salt is going to break down some of the cell structures, it's going to soften the cabbage, and it's going to make it release its liquid. And so just sprinkle that all over the top. And then the other ingredient is some citric acid. This is gonna add sourness to the dish, but also it does help speed up this process. So just mix it all together. As you do this, the salt is gonna start to wilt it, and you'll see this will compress really, really quick. Maybe use a bigger bowl though. You really wanna get in there and scrunch the salt into the cabbage. All right, that's looking well mixed. So just compress it down. And so now I'm just gonna let this sit for about half an hour. It should shrink to about maybe half its volume. So I'm just gonna leave this on the counter over there, and we'll come back to it. Now in my mind, no doner is complete without a good amount of chili. And we're gonna make a simple chili sauce. It's called Ezme. Turks eat this with most grills. It's just basically a salsa of fresh chilies, tomato, coriander, red onion. We are gonna make this though in a miniature food processor. This is just gonna allow us to blitz the ingredients rather than manually chop them. I'm gonna start off with the tomatoes, and we're gonna peel this to get rid of the skin. Once it looks like that, you can just chuck it in. And then you're gonna blitz it on low speed until you get nice and small chunks. There is quite a bit of liquid in this though, so I'm gonna pour this into a strainer and just let that excess liquid drain out. Now we've got half of a red onion. Just gonna roughly chop it and then chuck that in there. And we're gonna work it into a small dice as well. If you're wondering why I'm doing all the veg separate, if you put them all in at the same time, they will kind of turn into mush. In terms of chilies, we've got 3 fresh chilies. I'm gonna go with 2 red ones and a green one. Use any peppers that suit the heat tolerance you have. You can remove the seeds or don't. I am just gonna take the cores off and then I'll keep everything else whole. I'm just gonna roughly chop these. So this looks about right. I'm gonna add that in as well. And we can check our tomatoes and not much came out at all. Can go into the bowl now. One of the ingredients that's gonna make this taste as good as it does in turkey is gonna be red pepper paste. It's just like a concentrated version of red pepper, kind of like how you have tomato paste, but it will add a lot of flavor if you can get it. And of course, we have to season with some salt. Then just mix it all together. That Ezme is all mixed. And I almost forgot the final ingredient, which is a little bit of parsley. Just finely chop this, mostly leaves, try and avoid big stalks, and we'll add that in. Now that's all mixed. Obviously, give it a taste for seasoning. Now it's got quite a powerful kick at the moment, but as it sits over the next while you prepare the doner, it's gonna cool down a bit, flavors are gonna kind of get to know each other, and then over the next few days even, this salsa will get even better and better. All right, let's check in on the cabbage. The cabbage has been sitting for around 40 minutes, and I can tell that it has already started to wilt quite a lot. I'm gonna give it a try. Should be crunchy, but it shouldn't be tough to eat. And once it reaches that stage, you can go in with the rest of the ingredients. The first of these is gonna be freshly squeezed lemon juice. It's gonna add acidity to the cabbage, and it's also gonna help with the texture. The second one is olive oil. Really good olive oil if you have it. You can really taste it in this salad. And yeah, about the same amount as the lemon juice. And then watch how lovely this becomes. So I can already tell it's just so much softer than it was. Once we've added that lemon and olive oil, it's gonna soften even more. Make sure you give it a taste and just check that it has a nice acidic flavor. I love this cabbage. Now that's all done, so I'm gonna stuff it into this glass jar and keep it in the fridge. I'm gonna use some of it in the sandwiches, but then everything else I can have over the next few days. The garlic sauce is really simple to put together. I'm gonna start off with a base of mayo. That's gonna add the texture to the sauce. And alongside it, we're also gonna add some Turkish or Greek yogurt. About equal parts should do. Now I'm gonna grate in a single clove of garlic. If you want it really garlicky, you could do a very large clove. I'm gonna microplane it, just get it super fine. And then I'm just gonna add all that grated garlic in. We're also gonna add a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil as well. We're gonna season it with a little bit of salt, and then what I consider a very essential flavoring in all of this, bit of dried mint. Now this is gonna taste like a garlic sauce that you get from most kebab shops in the UK. However, if you're in Turkey, it's gonna be different. Just mix it together until it turns into a sauce. I'm gonna make one last component for this sandwich, and it is a simple tomato salad. I'm just gonna take a couple of tomatoes and slice them nice and thin. I'm gonna add those to a bowl. And then I'm gonna take a small bunch of parsley leaves. I'm gonna chop those up nice and fine. Add that there. And then I'm gonna season this with a pinch of salt and then a good amount of sumac. And just mix it together. I don't know what this salad is called, but I do find it at most of the kebab shops, and I don't know, I just find it really nice in the sandwich as well. And now that all these sides and sauces are done, we can finally get to cooking the doner kebab. So this has been chilling in the fridge for a couple of hours, and the fat inside it has now finally reconstituted. The salt has worked into the protein and kind of bound it all together, and we should get a nice texture once we cook this. A creator called Mike showed this technique, and honestly it's genius. We've tried a few different techniques for doner, and this one gives you the best texture and flavor. So grab a piece of parchment paper and then add a pile of doner meat in the middle like this. Then grab a second piece of parchment paper and spread this out kind of evenly across the sheets. So I'm gonna use this rolling pin to help spread it out like a squeegee and just pulling it from side to side. And your goal is to get it spread quite thin. The thinner it is, the more it will resemble a doner kebab, but at the same time, you don't want to get it too thin. And if you've got any bits which are just like falling out like this, you can just tear them off. and put them anywhere that's a bit low, like that. Okay, that's been spread well. See what it looks like. As you can see, it's just one big piece of doner meat spread out really nicely. And then just grab the parchment from the end, fold it over, nice straight line, and then just keep folding it. Now, if it is thin enough, each of these folds should turn into a single strip of doner. If you want a higher chance of that happening, what you can do is just press along the creases as you do that a bit, and that should just help define them. So there you go, that is one roll of doner. I'm gonna place it inside this large baking dish, and I'm gonna make the rest of the rolls and put them in there as well. I'm gonna stick these in the oven. It's been preheating at 150 degrees Celsius, and these need to cook for about 22 minutes. So this has just come out of the oven, and as you can see, there really isn't that much liquid that has come running out of these after they've cooked. We're gonna start unwrapping these because the next step is to sear them, and then it's ready to eat. This part is always fun. Hopefully we get some nice strips. This might just be one of the sexiest cooking techniques I have ever seen. The last one, now look at that. There we have it, sheets of doner-like meat. And as you can see, you can kind of just tear it into strips, especially where it's been nicely folded. Right, let's give it a try. That is ridiculously good. Now, when we were developing this recipe, we wanted to see which technique gave the doner the best texture and flavor after it has been seared. So we tried grilling it in the oven, and we also tried air frying. But out of all the methods we tried, a good old pan on the stove was the best one. The oven just took too long to do a quantity of doner, and at the same time it dried them out. Whereas the air fryer, you just had to do it in so many batches to get it nice and crisp. I've got a high-walled saute pan over here, and that's just gonna make it easy to flip the pieces without splattering all over the stove. And I've also got a pot here with a lid. Now I'm gonna use this to keep the seared doner warm while I fry the next batch, because you have to do it in batches, otherwise you're just gonna overcrowd the pan. So I'll put that on a high temperature, and then this one, I'm gonna put it on a low temperature. I've also got a jug of water here, some butter. Now while that's heating, I'm just gonna try and drain off this liquid that's come out from the doner, because we're gonna be using this as we sear them to give it some extra color and flavor. I'm gonna add some butter to this pan, and I'm gonna let that melt, and we're gonna use that to sear the meat. And then I'll go in with enough doner to kind of fill the pan. And yeah, you just kind of stir fry it like this. You're just browning it until it picks up a nice color. So once you've got some nice browning on the bottom of the pan like that, it's time to deglaze it. Just mix up the drippings and go in with a little bit of it. And then as well, some cold water. That'll pick up all the color from the bottom of the pan, and then as you toss the doner in it, it's going to quickly evaporate, and it should leave you with some pretty spectacular looking doner meat. Oh, just look at how good that meat looks. Absolutely fantastic. Great color and great texture too. I'm going to put it in this pan and keep it warm while I do the rest of it. Time to turn this into a delicious sandwich. Get yourself some pita bread, and I'm going to start off with some chili in there. Some tomatoes, just to add some moisture to the base of the bread. And then let's load this up. Some cabbage as well. And then to finish it off, a good amount of garlic sauce. Though, I probably should have put that on the inside. Now, let's see if the sandwich does doner justice. As someone who can proudly claim to have eaten hundreds of doners in their life, this is probably one of the better ones that I've had, and I absolutely love it. If you've never had the opportunity to have a doner before, go ahead and give it a try. There's no way you don't fall in love with this.